Good day everyone, I'm Hurley of RFI Reviews here, back at it again with my review for Tipsy. Yes, again, this is a Tipsy IEM just like the M1, but this time it's the M3. I do believe that this is the middle child, if you may, of the Tipsy M lineup. Okay, but before I proceed, I'd like to thank Tipsy for again sending this unit to me in an exchange for a very honest and transparent review. Rest assured that all of my reviews are honest and transparent to the core like I always do, for the benefit of everybody, of course, including me, since again and again I won't be editing this extensively. English isn't really my native language and I prefer writing reviews rather than recording them. Okay? Okay. So to give you an idea, the Tipsy M3. Yes, the Tipsy M3 is a hybrid, I believe. This is a hybrid IEM, but it has a triple driver setup, meaning that it has a one dynamic driver and two balanced armature drivers, two balanced custom. I do believe that the driver, the balanced armature driver, and this one are custom made by them. Okay, so it is a 1DD 2BA hybrid, and at the same time it costs around 189 US dollars, or around under 10,000 or 10,000 ish, or probably 11,000 pesos by Philippine pesos by the time that I record this review. However, the M3 can also range up to 289 US dollars from what I have understand according to their website. I'll link the non-affiliated link in the comment section, or probably in the description down below, because Tipsy currently offers a customization for this one. Like, if you want to feel that custom IEM look, like let's say based on your favorite artist or your preferred design, you can always contact Tipsy for that. Of course, you'll pay a little bit more just to get that additional design that you prefer. But if you don't want things to have it customized or something like that, you can always purchase the Tipsy M3 for 189 US dollars. Okay? Okay. So a little bit of disclaimer here. For the M3, Tipsy delivered. Yes, I also requested it actually. Tipsy delivered, or Tipsy sent the Tipsy M3 to me without the box, without the usual box that you will be receiving when you purchase it in the with the retail version of this IM, because having it boxed to be sent to me here in this country will add a little bit more postage or shipping fee. So to minimize the shipping fee, I requested, and actually yes, I agreed to the Tipsy's option for it not to be sent with a box, because again it saves time on both of our ends, and it is a win-win situation for them as a company as well. Okay, so but with that being said, if you ever happen to purchase the Tipsy M3, it will come with a box, of course. Okay, okay. So this is the Tipsy M3 along with its accessories that it comes with. It isn't really a lot in my humble opinion, especially for this price. For this price, I would have expected a little bit more, like for example, a faux leather case or a faux leather pouch, or some sets or additional sets of ear tips, probably a thicker cable too. But again, I understand their philosophy. If you know NF Acous, they kind of live uh with that same philosophy wherein less is more, and the sound quality and the overall experience, or yes, the sound quality, the fit, comfort, and isolation really matters more than what most of the time. Okay, so I'll just put it here, put those POV here with the Tipsy as well. Okay, so as for the case on this one is this, like what the M1 has. So it is a thin case, but as you can see, it is a thin metal case with a feeling a little bit tipsy, handcrafted for. But if you ever happen to purchase this one, you can put your name here. You can ask Tipsy to put your name here for an additional customization experience. You'll also get two sets of ear tips, but the foam tips isn't really a set technically, in my opinion, because it is just a pair. It is just a pair of ear tips, foam ear tips. I usually don't use foam ear tips even on my etymatics, but yeah, there's that. They included that one, and we also have these ear tips. In my humble opinion, the ear tips on this one slightly has compromises when it comes to the overall fit and isolation to my ears, but probably this is an isolated case scenario, and of course you can always use what you prefer, what ear tips you prefer, in my humble opinion, with the Tipsy M3. And you'll also get this, since this is made for, or this is catered for those people who use it in studio, or in studio recording or something like that. They also include this tiny yet sleek 6.3 to 3.5 if you prefer using it with your interface. Okay, and here's the cable with the ear tips, with the IEMs itself. As you can see, the cable is pretty much the same as what you would see, or as would you what you would experience with the Tipsy M1. So yes, of course, it is quite minimal, especially for this price, but at the same time, the cable, or sorry, the cable, yes, the cable, the splitter, the Y split, and the 3.5 jack here are all premium, because it is it is quite unique to my liking. As you can see, those minimal designs, those intricate designs is what I really like. Personally, this isn't really a problem to me, but at the same time, of course, those people who are paying full price for the Tipsy M3 will probably look for more when it comes to the overall accessories. Okay, and here is the IEMs itself. So this will fit a lot better, or this will fit with most of the ears here. Most of the ears, yes, this will fit better. It's just that you need to change the ear tips, in my humble opinion, if you find the ear tips included here do not fit your ears well. But for the size wise, it is actually a little bit sleek. It is sleek. It will fit even the most small ears quite well. Just probably use other ear tips. And I have requested Tipsy to send me the black and white faceplate. As you can see here, it is a clean pearl white, optic white, a little bit glossy, if you may. Look at that, with the Tipsy logo there, and at the same time, this is the black. This is the black faceplate. So it's a black and white colorway. I do like the design. Yes, it will definitely show some fingerprint marks here and there due to its glossy finish, but at the same time, it really looks sleek, and it really looks professional, in my humble opinion, despite me not being a sound engineer, or an artist. Kind of made me feel a little bit like that. Okay, it also has this vent here to avoid any to lessen the occlusion, if you may. Yeah, to lessen any driver flex, because this doesn't have that, which I am really glad, because I had the Tipsy IM before that has a worse that has a very bad driver flex, while the M1, yes, and the M3 doesn't have that, which is a very, very good or pleasant experience. Okay, you can have the Tipsy M3 in any colorway, if that you prefer, in any design that you prefer. You just go to their website, have it customized, and at the same time, you'll add an additional fee on top of it. So there's that. But again, they add an option for you to customize things. So I guess that's a good thing, because not all companies do that. Okay, now as for the drivability on this one is pretty much okay for the most part. I had no problems pairing this even with the most underpowered dongles out there. Like for example, the current Apple dongle, yes, the 0.5 volts version, I had no problems pairing it with this one. The dynamics took a little bit of a hit, but not by a lot actually. For most people, it will be very negligible, but at the same time, for good measure, I suggest you use this with a proper dongle, like for example any J Kali dongles out there, or the current dongle that I am using for most of the time is the Venture Electronics Devastator dongle. It pairs with the M3 just fine, or actually very good for the most part, because the dynamics or the full potential of the Tipsy M3 shows here really well. Actually, the Hebe R4 that I use it whenever I use my digital audio player outside is more than enough, and probably an overkill for an IEM like this. But hey, yes, at the very least, you don't have any serious compromises with the Tipsy M3. Okay. Now, as for the sound, what's the sound of the Tipsy M3? Well, just like the M1 actually, but more into that later. Just like the M1, the Tipsy M3 sports the house sound of the Tipsy, wherein it is a V-shaped sounding IEM. But this time, the Tipsy M3 doesn't show itself as a balanced V-shaped or a warm V-shaped sounding IM. No, no, not by. This is an unapologetically V-shaped sounding IM in a good way, because the tuning of the M3 as a V-shaped set is very, very good, or probably excellent in my books. But do take note that I haven't heard all the V-shaped sets under 500 USD. So yeah, take this with a huge spoonful of salt, but in my humble opinion, the M3 is one of those remarkable V-shaped sets under 500 USD. Why is that so? Because the technical and tonal performance of this IM is well tuned. It is done well, in my opinion. Okay, now as for the bass on this one, it is elevated. It is obviously elevated. Can I recommend this to the bass heads at heart? Of course, I can. Mainly because of the elevation of the bass. But I wouldn't call this head shaking or very deep bass response like what I would experience with, like, let's say the Fat Freak Juice or probably the 7 Hertz Legato. When compared to those, the bass on this one is actually better. Better in what terms? Better in quality. Better in quality, while at the same time having the elevation that most people who prefer bass sets are looking for. Okay, so the sub bass on this one is mildly dominating or dominant than the mid bass, but the mid bass is still there. Actually, it is still present whenever the track calls for it. But I would say that the I find the mid bass a little bit too soft. Yes, too soft to what I prefer. But do take note that I am not a bass head, and yes, it is very what do you call this? It is very negligible. Most people wouldn't even notice it. I actually just notice it when I compare it with a bassy sounding IEM that I have here. But for the most part, it isn't really that bad, or it isn't really a deal breaker to me. Okay, so for most people who prefer bassy sets, well, the Tipsy M3 is one of the best out there that I have encountered within this price point. I'm just being real. Okay. Okay. Now, as for the mids on this one actually is quite good. What do I mean by that? Well, it is quite good because most V-shaped sets usually have a very thin mids response, or a very thin mids presence. The Tipsy M3 doesn't really have that. It still has that lushness that the M1 has, but at the same time, it doesn't have that less details. No, it isn't lacking in detail or in texture or any of that. Sure, it shaves a little bit of body here and there, but I wouldn't call it thin. I wouldn't even call it lacking or brittle or even recessed or any of those. Actually, it is still well presented. It is well placed. It is just that the bass and the treble are much more elevated than the mids, making it a little bit V-shape or a V-shape to what I hear. Okay, so do expect that male vocals on this one still has some good warmth to it, but I wouldn't call it too warm. I wouldn't call it warm to begin with, in my humble opinion. Okay, now as for the upper mids on this one is elevated just like its treble. Okay, it is sparkly, it is clear, it is airy, but if I were to nitpick, don't get me wrong, it doesn't have that sibilance, it doesn't have any unnatural harshness or peaks to it, but I can hear some slight BA timbre or driver quirks here with the Tipsy M3, which is actually anticipated on my end, because most sets that have BA drivers has this metallic timbre to it, but it isn't really that serious. And actually, I did not notice it until I compared it with a better tuned, yes, or a better tuned IM, and at the same time an IM that has some BA timbre, because that IM has all BA setup. So yeah, it has a mild mild metallic timbre going to it, just like the Simgot. Yes, the Simgot, the black Simgot. I kind of forgot. I kind of, yeah, EM6L, yes. The Simgot EM6L. If you have experienced that driver timbre on that IM, that is more or less identical here with the Tipsy M3. So it is not big of a deal actually. Okay. Now as for the treble, now that I have explained the driver quirks or the driver timbre, the treble here with the Tipsy M3 is actually elevated. Yes, it is actually elevated. I wouldn't call it bright, but at the same time, some people can call it borderline bright. It is well extended, it is airy, and at the same time, it does have some very good, actually very good micro nuances and detail retrieval for an IM, for a V-shaped set, because again, it is quite rare on my end to hear a very capable V-shaped IM. Okay. As for the technical chops on this one is actually good. Again, one of those IMs that has a very good technical performance. From what I remember, the other IM that I have encountered that has a better technical, or identical technical performance for the price of this one is the Ear Acoustic Audio SPA High-End Ultra. Yes, but this time the what do you call this? The Tipsy M3 has a bit better soundstage. Yes, the soundstage on this one is wide. It is expansive. I can even call it holographic if I want to, because it is nearly on par with the Heidi Smart 12 Tourist, in my humble opinion. Separation, layering, and imaging on this one is quite good as well. Actually, the imaging is very precise. It is very precise. The separation and layering is prim and proper, as what I would say. It is prim and proper because I have used this with a lot of heavy metal or very busy congested tracks here and there, but it doesn't have any serious hiccups whenever I use it within its spaces. So that's a really good thing, as it should be, because again, this is a 200-ish USD IEM. Okay, so where should I compare this? Well, I can compare this with the Twistura Wood Note, although it would be an unfair comparison for some people, because again, that is a 1DD IM, and it should be compared with the M1, which I did before from what I remember. But yeah, when compared to the Tipsy M3, the Twistura Wood Note is actually a warmer, safer sounding IM. But also, it kind of lacks the dynamics. It kind of lacks the dynamics, that bite that I am looking for a V-shaped IM when compared to the Tipsy M3. So, it can be the Twistura Wood Note may sound boring to some people. Especially those people who prefer the sound of the M3 wherein it is V-shaped, its bass is elevated, and wants fun. Okay? As for the technical performance, of course, the Tipsy M3 is a bit better. No, not actually, it is better. It is better by a mile, mainly because it has a cleaner presentation of the separation, layering, and imaging. Okay? So, where should we compare this next? We should compare this next with the stock, all pre-installed Heidi Smart 12 Tourist. When compared, the Mark 12 Tourist is actually warmer. It is actually warmer, and it still has that wider immersive soundstage. But the Tipsy M3 isn't far from that actually. Maybe it's just that the Heidi Smart 12 Tourist to my ears is a 10% wider. Yes, it is 10% wider. It is 10% more expansive than the Tipsy M3. Okay? Okay. Uh, Separation and layering is also better on the Tipsy M3 in my humble opinion, because it is cleaner, it is more incisive even when the busy tracks hit. Imaging is also much more precise when compared to the Tipsy compared to the Heidi Mark 12 Tourist. Okay? Okay. Now, where should we compare this next? We should compare this next lastly with the Rose Techniques QT9 Mark III. In my humble opinion, the QT9 Mark III is an underrated set, mainly because of that forward treble, which can be a niche which can make the QT9 Mark III a niche IM for some people. So, yeah, when compared here with the Tipsy M3, they are literally polar opposites to one another, because again, the QT9 Mark III is a brighter set, while the M3 is definitely a bassy set. Okay, when comparing these two, the QT9 Mark III is obviously brighter. It is obviously more transparent and unforgiving to, what do you call this? To poorly recorded or mastered tracks compared to the Tipsy M3. But at the same time, it has a tad bit better separation and layering going on, but not by a lot when compared to the M3. The M3 has better imaging. It has better bass response. It is a much more all-rounder IEM, mainly because it doesn't have a very overly bright treble that the QT9 Mark III can have to some ears. Okay? Okay, now I'll switch back to the Tagalog for a quick rundown of this IEM. Well, ito si Tipsy M3 is nasa 10,000 to 11,000 pesos by the time na ni-record ko to. And nag-offer sila ng customization if gusto mo ng parang katulad ng favorite mong artista yung earphones mo, yung IEM mo. So, yun, pwede mong gawin tong halimbawa, favorite, may K-pop artist kang favorite and gusto mo gayahin yung design, yes, pwede. Nag-offer sila ng custom service. Nag-offer din sila ng CIEM service para dito, I believe, or sa lahat ng IEMs nila. Pero, syempre, expect na mas magbabayad ka ng mas mahal kasi customized na yun for you. Okay? Yung pinadala sa akin, walang box para makatipid sa shipping, which I understand, and sa end ko din, very beneficial yun. So, ito lang yung laman. As you can see, set ng ear tips, dalawa, tapos yung adapter ng 6.3 to 3.5, tapos yung IEMs itself, tapos yung case. For a 10,000 pesos IEM, in my humble opinion, sobrang neto, minimal. Nag-expect ako ng mas makapal na cable, nag-expect ako ng extra set ng ear tips for this, at saka ng zipper pouch, ng silver metal pouch, ganito ganyan. But, ayun nga, dito na tayo, and for most people, deal breaker talaga yon kapag bumili sila na ito. Okay, so sa fit, comfort, and isolation, may problem ako sa ear tips na to kasi most of the time ginagamit ko yung small ear tips para dito sa IM na to. Eh, usual ko is medium, katulad na nakalagay dito. Pero yun nga, mas may seal siya kapag naka-small sa tenga ko. First time, hindi naman first time, although sobrang rare na nangyari sa akin to. Pero yeah, andyan naman na. Okay, drivability, wala kang magiging problem dito kahit Apple AirPods lang yung Apple dongle lang yung gamitin mo dito, okay lang. So, para sa akin, yung tunog netong Tipsy M3 is nasa V-shape siya, katulad ng lahat naman ng IEM actually ng Tipsy. Oo, na V-shape talaga yung tunog nila. Hindi siya parang nagtatry na maging neutral, nagtatry na maging balance, no. V-shape talaga siya na leaning slightly sa bassy side, pero yung treble niya din kasi sparkly, well extended din. May time may nagsabi sa akin na borderline bright daw for them. So, yeah, medyo totoo yun, pero hindi naman siya bright para sa akin. So, sakto lang. Okay? Yung technical, yun yung maganda dito in my humble opinion, na balance niya yung tonal at saka technical quality na makukuha mo dito. Kasi kahit na basic siya, V-shape siya, kasi 'di ba nagkaroon ng stigma na pag V-shape is hindi okay yung tunog. Ito talaga, kahit V-shape yung tunog niya, maganda yung technical performance, malinis, masinsin. Actually, immersive talaga yung soundstage niya, which is yun yung usually na hinahanap ko kasi ang IEM nga is limited na siya ng physics when it comes dun sa pagiging wide ng stage niya. And ito, kinaya naman for the most part. Okay? So, marirecommend ko ba siya sa 10,000, 11,000 pesos? In my humble opinion, if naghahanap ka ng magandang 10,000 pesos na V-shape na IM, sige. Like, kasi mas trip ko to kaysa sa Fat Freak Juice na dapat i-review ko and bibilin ko nung time na yan. Pero, ayun nga, mas okay to kasi mas defined yung details niya, mas malinis yung overall na tunog niya, and hindi siya katunog ng ibang IM na nag-exist ngayon. Okay? So, balik na ako sa English for my final verdict. Okay. So, what's my final verdict here with the Tipsy M3? Well, the Tipsy M3 is definitely one of the remarkable IEMs in my book. If you are looking for a V-shaped sounding IEM that has a very good technical chops, actually, I slightly prefer this over the Ear Acoustic Audio SPA High-End Ultra that I have reviewed before. But, yeah, so this is one of the best V-shaped sets that I can recommend under 300 USD, give or take. So, yeah, of course, this isn't really perfect. Like, for example, this has a QDC connection. Its cable is non-modular. The, what do you call this? The accessories is quite scars, in my humble opinion. It is very minimal, but yeah, if you're willing to live with those compromises, the Tipsy M3 is definitely one of the best out there for a V-shaped set. Okay, and that ends my review for the Tipsy M3. Again, I'd like to thank Tipsy for sending this unit to me, and in exchange for a very honest and transparent review. Rest assured that all of my reviews are honest and transparent to the core, like I always do for uh like I always do for everybody, of course, including me, since again and again, I don't want to edit videos extensively. English isn't really my native language anyway, and I prefer writing reviews rather than recording them. Okay, so what will I be reviewing next? Well, these came in the mail today. This one. This is the, as you can see, tada, Heidi's MP145 Pro. Okay, so this will be a the successor to the well-known MP145 that I actually did not review, but I kind of experienced it since I tried it from a friend, and on the November Hi-Fi show that I have attended last year. Okay. Thank you for listening. Thank you for stopping by, and see you on the next one. Sarah, last one.